This is the Calculus University packet number 31. So finding domain in range and then writing that in interval notation. So this is the equation we're given. So let's do domain first. So that deals with the x values. So notice here we have an x in the radical. So, and then an x plus 3. So since we cannot do the square root of a negative number, because that would be an imaginary number. So the lowest number we could actually go for x is -3, because square root of 0 is 0. And then if we went to -4, we would get square root of -1, which is imaginary. So the smallest we could go is actually -3, but we can equal -3 because that would just yield a 0 for this. And then after that, there's no restriction, so we'll go to infinity, always parentheses for infinity. And then now going on to the range. So because this is in the square root and we are in real numbers, you know that this number will always have to be positive. It cannot be negative. So not accounting for this negative sign right here, just looking at this radical, that part of the equation will always have to be positive because of the radical. So then when you take into account this negative sign, you know that the overall value will always be negative. So for this, we actually don't, for the range, we don't go past 0, just because of this always being a positive term and this always being a negative term. So we know that it will always be negative unless it equals 0. So unless this was a -3, and then we would get square root of 0 equals 0, so that would just be 0. So we know this includes 0, and then it goes to -infinity. So that is the answer for number 31.